Are you tired of saying yes to things that drain your energy and leave you feeling overwhelmed? In this video, we explore the power of saying no and how it can be the most empowering decision you can make. Lesson 1. Self-discipline. One of the core principles of Stoicism is self-discipline. It's about training your mind and body to do what's necessary, even when you don't feel like it. This is not just about forcing yourself to complete tasks, but about cultivating an inner strength that helps you stay focused, determined, and calm in the face of challenges. In Stoicism, the idea of self-discipline is closely tied to the concept of virtue. Virtue, according to the Stoics, is the only true good, and it includes qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Temperance, in particular, is about moderation, knowing when to act and when to refrain, when to speak and when to listen, when to push forward and when to rest. It's the practice of controlling impulses and desires. Why is self-discipline the key to success? Because success doesn't come from doing things when it's easy. It comes from doing things when it's hard. It comes from waking up early to work on your goals even when your body wants to sleep in. It comes from saying no to distractions, no to temptations, and no to habits that don't serve your higher purpose. Self-discipline also means being consistent in your actions. It's not about achieving a massive result overnight, but about taking small, steady steps each day. This is where most people falter. They look for shortcuts, get discouraged by slow progress, or give up when things get tough. But Stoicism teaches us that the journey itself is what builds character. The daily practice of discipline strengthens your will, sharpens your focus, and molds you into a person who doesn't just achieve success, but sustains it. In modern life, we are bombarded with distractions, social media, entertainment, instant gratification. Self-discipline requires you to rise above these distractions, to decide what is truly important and prioritize it, even when it feels uncomfortable. And as the Stoics believed, discomfort is not something to be avoided. It is something to be embraced because it's through discomfort that we grow. Train your mind to focus on what matters. Train your body to work even when it's tired. Train your emotions to stay calm under pressure. This kind of mastery doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, it becomes second nature. Lesson 2. Adaptability. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. This is where adaptability comes in. Life is unpredictable, and those who are rigid in their thinking and actions are often the ones who break when things don't go according to plan. Adaptability, on the other hand, allows you to bend without breaking, to adjust without losing sight of your goals. The Stoics had a concept called amor fati, which means loving one's fate. This doesn't mean passively accepting whatever happens. Rather, it means embracing every experience, good or bad, as a necessary part of your journey. It means understanding that life will throw obstacles in your way, and instead of resisting them or feeling defeated by them, you adapt. You learn from them. You grow because of them. Adaptability is more important than ever. The pace of change is faster than ever before, and those who cling to old ways of thinking or rigid plans often find themselves left behind. Stoicism teaches us to be fluid, like water. Water adapts to its environment. It flows around obstacles, fills whatever space is available, and finds its way to the destination. In the same way, we must learn to adapt to our circumstances without losing sight of our ultimate goals. The Stoics remind us that obstacles are not the end. They are part of the path. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the challenges you face are not there to stop you. They are there to teach you. By adapting to them, you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. In your pursuit of success, remember that adaptability is not weakness, it is strength. It is the ability to pivot when necessary, to change course when the current path is blocked, and to maintain your inner calm even in the face of chaos. Success is not about avoiding obstacles. It's about learning how to navigate them with grace and wisdom. Lesson 3. Consistency over intensity. One of the most powerful yet often overlooked lessons from Stoicism is the value of consistency over intensity. In our culture, we are often drawn to the idea of doing things in short, intense bursts, whether it's a crash diet, an all-nighter before a deadline, or a sudden burst of motivation to achieve a goal. But Stoicism teaches us that true success comes not from brief moments of intensity, but from steady, consistent effort over time. No great thing is created suddenly. This simple truth applies to every area of life. Whether you are building a career, a relationship, a skill, or a business, lasting success comes from showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. It's about making small, incremental progress, rather than relying on a single grand effort. Consistency is hard because it requires patience. In a world that celebrates quick wins and overnight success, we often forget that real, meaningful progress takes time. But as the Stoics remind us, time is on our side if we approach life with steady, deliberate action. Success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And in a marathon, it's the slow and steady runner who often crosses the finish line first. Think about any great achievement, whether it's an athlete winning a championship, an artist mastering their craft, or an entrepreneur building a thriving business. Behind every success story is not a single moment of brilliance, but a long series of consistent, sometimes tedious efforts. It's the athlete who trains every day, not just when they feel like it. It's the artist who practices their skill for years before they are recognized. It's the entrepreneur who keeps pushing forward, even when the road is tough. Stoicism teaches us that consistency is a form of discipline. It's about showing up day after day, regardless of the circumstances. It's about focusing on what's in your control, the actions you take each day, and letting go of the need for immediate results. The Stoics believe that we should focus on the process, not the outcome. This doesn't mean you shouldn't have goals. It means that the path to those goals is paved with consistent daily effort. The truth is, intensity can lead to burnout. When we rely on short bursts of effort, we often exhaust ourselves and lose motivation. But when we take a slow, steady approach, we build momentum. Each small step forward adds up over time, and before you know it, you've made significant progress. Don't focus on how fast you can get there. Focus on taking one step at a time, every day. Success is not about doing something extraordinary once. It's about doing the ordinary things consistently well. Lesson 4. Learning from failure. Failure is often seen as the opposite of success, but Stoicism teaches us that failure is, in fact, a critical part of success. It's through failure that we learn, grow, and improve. The Stoics didn't fear failure. They embraced it as an opportunity to develop resilience and wisdom. In Stoicism, there's a famous concept called preparation for adversity. This means that Stoics would mentally prepare themselves for setbacks, difficulties, and failures before they happened. This wasn't about being pessimistic. It was about being realistic. They understood that failure is an inevitable part of life, and by preparing for it mentally, they were less likely to be derailed when it occurred. The most successful people in the world have failed, often many times. The difference is that they didn't let failure stop them. They learned from it. The Stoics remind us that failure is not a reflection of our worth. It's simply feedback. It's a sign that something didn't work, and now we have the opportunity to adjust our approach. Why is learning from failure so crucial for success? Because success is rarely achieved on the first try. It often comes after a series of failures, adjustments, and lessons learned. If you fear failure or let it defeat you, you'll never reach your full potential. But if you see failure as a teacher, as the Stoics did, you'll be able to bounce back stronger each time. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is that we should not be attached to outcomes. This means that we should do our best, take action, and make decisions, but we should not tie our sense of self-worth to whether or not we succeed. If we fail, we reflect on what went wrong, learn from it, and try again. Failure becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. The Stoics also believed in the importance of humility. They understood that no one is perfect, and no one has all the answers. Failure humbles us. It reminds us that we are human, that we don't know everything, and that we always have room to grow. In this way, failure is a gift. It keeps us grounded, keeps us learning, and keeps us striving to be better. Don't fear it, and don't let it define you. Instead, learn from it. Use it as a tool to refine your approach, to grow stronger, and to become more resilient. The road to success is paved with failure, but it's those who keep going who ultimately reach their destination. Lesson 5. Being proactive instead of reactive. One of the most powerful teachings of Stoicism is the idea that we should be proactive, not reactive. This means that instead of letting life happen to us, we should take control of our actions and responses. In Stoicism, this is referred to as focusing on what is within our control. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention. From the moment we wake up, we are bombarded with notifications, news, and distractions that can easily throw us off course. If we are not careful, we can spend our entire day reacting to what's happening around us, rather than taking intentional steps toward our goals. Stoicism teaches us to pause, reflect, and choose how we respond to external events. This is the difference between being proactive and reactive. When you are reactive, you allow your emotions, circumstances, and other people to dictate your actions. You get swept up in the chaos of life, and as a result, you often make poor decisions, act impulsively, or feel out of control. But when you are proactive, you take responsibility for your actions and your life. You decide what's important to you and focus on those things. You set your own priorities rather than letting the world set them for you. You choose how you will respond to challenges rather than letting your emotions dictate your response. The Stoics understood that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This is where true power lies. When you stop reacting to life and start proactively choosing your actions, you regain control over your own success. Being proactive also means taking initiative. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Go out and create them. Don't wait for circumstances to change. Change them yourself. The Stoics were big believers in the idea of personal agency, the belief that you have the power to shape your own life through your actions and choices. In your pursuit of success, being proactive means taking the lead in your own life. It means setting goals, making plans, and taking consistent action toward them. It means not letting setbacks derail you, but instead adapting and finding new ways to move forward. It means staying calm in the face of adversity, knowing that you have the power to choose your response. Lesson 6. Seeking feedback and criticism. The final lesson from Stoicism that is often overlooked is the importance of seeking feedback and criticism. In a world where we are often afraid of judgment or failure, it's easy to shy away from constructive criticism. But the Stoics believe that feedback is one of the most valuable tools for growth and success. One of the core ideas in Stoicism is the pursuit of self-improvement. The Stoics were constantly reflecting on their thoughts, actions, and behaviors, seeking ways to become better versions of themselves. But they also recognized that they couldn't do this alone. They needed feedback from others to see their blind spots, to understand their weaknesses, and to continue growing. Why is feedback so important for success? Because no one is perfect. We all have areas where we can improve, but we can't always see them ourselves. Feedback from others provides us with a new perspective, helping us identify areas we may have overlooked. Constructive criticism helps us refine our approach, improve our skills, and become more effective in our actions. The Stoics taught that we should not take feedback personally. It's not about our worth as individuals. It's about improving our actions and our results. When we receive feedback with an open mind, we can use it to make meaningful changes that lead to greater success. The most overlooked key to success is not found in external circumstances or short-lived bursts of motivation. It's found in the timeless teachings of Stoicism: self-discipline, adaptability, consistency, learning from failure, being proactive, and seeking feedback. By embracing these principles, you can develop the mindset and habits that lead to lasting success. Stoicism is not just a philosophy. It's a way of life that empowers you to take control of your actions, your emotions, and your destiny.